Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I am back, people. I am. Okay. Well, yeah, that's the secondary screen. Tapitha, hello there, darling. Good morning. I guess the morning is for you. Great to have you all back. It's chaos.com over here today. It's chaos. Because you know why it's chaos? We are doing a marathon bake. So this is the first round of the bake. I'll be back in multiple sessions today. Trust me, when I say, my mama says take it with a pinch of salt when somebody starts with trust me. But that's what we're going to be doing. Except here's the deal. I'm not prepped. I lost my train of thought for a minute. I'm not prepped at all. And if I were to go and prep and come back, we won't be starting this live till late. I have a commitment to attend to at 5 p.m. So whatever I do, this has to be done and moving before 5. So ignore me. Auntie Jackie is in the house. Auntie Jackie, good morning. I know it's morning for you. Auntie Jackie, have you said your prayers yet? Have you gone into your prayer closet yet? Have you drunk your coffee? Because that will set the mood. But always a pleasure to have you back, people. Great to have you. We are baking. We're doing serious baking over here today. We're making a coffee cake. And I don't mean coffee as in coffee granule. Coffee cake as in a simple cake that you can have the way you like it. This is one of the things that I will be doing creatively, because coffee cakes, you can bake them slightly differently to your preference, but there's a feature to them. It's a sponge, sometimes with a streusel filling. Some days you have different flavor options. I am not going with the traditional flavor options. I am going for something that I would love to eat because I have control, which is that if you can make a cake for yourself, you get to do whatever you want. And this is for a church event, by the way. And these cakes are the opportunity to make cakes for the church house and the people is sort of my test kitchen, if you like, because you have like a wide array of people that have different taste preferences, and it's always like interesting to be able to kind of get a cake that you think everybody will love but you're not sure about. So I'm not going to go for the traditional streusel, what have you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create my own streusel. You're going to watch me do it. We're going to get this through, and then I'll come back maybe after the weekend, because what we're doing is for the weekend. So I'm going to come back next week and give you feedback. But yes, we are doing a test bake. And if you see this big tray pans, it's about to go down. Okay, I've got my coins falling out. Okay, but in the meantime, still a pleasure to have you. And you know, I've told you already, I don't do both. I can't do both. I can't talk and work. I'm either talking or I'm working. So Tapitha, Auntie Jackie, all of you in the chat, you keep yourselves entertained. Okay. Oh, right. How did little producer's birthday turn out, my people? That birthday, this is the moment where I wish we had our little group, like our little like corner of the internet where you and me, you know what, even though it's just you and me over here, after we are done talking, it's still available for everybody. So it's like, it's a bit like you are having a conversation in the private garden of the public square. Follow me, follow me. You know, you have a private garden in the public square. So there are people poaching over the fence, like looking in. And if you're having like a very serious conversation or a very intimate conversation, you're wondering if there are like other ears listening in. Do you see what I'm saying? So my point is, this is the time where I wish we had our own secluded, secure space on the internet where I can tell you how the birthday went down, and even get like maybe, just maybe, the big producer to come tell you, because I cannot take credit for it. I can tell you it was amazing, but I cannot take credit for it, because the big producer, I have a boy, right? And boys love their mom, and I'm his mom, and I know he will always love me. But my son has an amazing relationship with his dad, and his dad is like his best friend. and they have, talking about them two makes my heart like hurt in a good way, because it's the sort of thing that there's complexity in my life, people, when I do this. Okay, you see what I'm saying? There's complexity in my life, and there's a nuance in my life that is not representative of things you will know about. And when the subject of children and parenting comes and the responsibility is about moms, dads get left out. Dad is not perfect by any means, by the way, as a human being, because sometimes when you're having these conversations on the internet, it's important to bring clarity. So I am not in any way painting a picture of perfection. I just know when to give credit when credit is due. And I was in on my head. How did I get the pan that huge? Auntie Jackie, I'll come to that. But I'm answering you and the little producer's birthday question. You know me, we are long-winded over here. We give texture and context to the conversation. Remember, I can't do both. So you see, the pants have disappeared and suddenly I'm like, here, let's talk, shall we? Right? Oh, so if it was left to me, I would have had like the generic thing where we go and have a cake and get his friends. And this is actually, just so you know, this is actually the very first time that he is celebrating his birthday with friends, because his birthday falls outside of the school break period. So we are not always obliged to kind of invite anybody. And actually, in the school break, other parents have their plans and they do their own thing. So it can be difficult to manage to kind of invite other people. And actually, as a parent, I have actually enjoyed the privilege of doing nothing that I haven't been asked, because you know what, you have children for a lifetime and you will always do stuff for them. And to be honest, I don't know if it's the African in me, okay? I am not about to be splurging for any kiddo out here when I can't afford it. And I'm not also trying to kind of stomp around in the, because sometimes, let's face it, can I just say it without you judging me? Sometimes we parents, we go all the way out just to assert our own sort of control issues rather than just giving the kids what they like. Because to be honest, that big elaborate party, if you have double zeros and more zeros on your account, I'm not blaming you. But I don't have zeros, okay? So I am living within my means. And for the last X amount of years since my son has been born, we've kept it simple and we've kept it like hearty. Like, I am big on experience and heart. Maybe that's my excuse because I'm broke and can't afford elaborate things. I don't know, whatever. So for the first time, he said he wants his friends around. And I'm like, how do you get these friends around? It's holiday, they're gone. Like, so we had to narrow it on friends that are really, really friends, as in friends that he has like connections with. Some of them had holidays, so they were gone. But the few, we had about 5 kids altogether. And the 5 kids, like, that's when you know that kids don't really mind. As long as they're having a good time. They went to the cinema. They had McDonald's to eat. They, you know, Dad got, look at me, it's just a basic story. Dad knows the kids true and true, so we got some sweet. I'm not big on sweets, but whatever the kids want, it's one day in a year that they get to choose. We got some sweet. I got it packaged. I wasn't big on taking photos and chronicling the process because I just wanted to be in the moment. Long story cut short, they had an absolute amazing time, more than I could have put together. And that is because we went down to the details of what was really important. So, Jackie, that's a long-winded way of saying little guy had an amazing time. I ended up tired. And I mean so tired. In fact, I was slumped on my sofa for the rest of the day. And then after that, I went to see family. And this is what I was here yesterday, but it was like a recap session where I was like resting up yesterday. But I'll tell you, the birthday was it on Monday? Tuesday and Wednesday, I was visiting family. And I went to see my big sister. And my big sister has some wonderful cakes. Like I told the story yesterday. Like I was over there in my 90s laying on the floor, and these kids were jumping over me and were like, Auntie Gladys, you're so cool. And they were combing my hair. They were just you know, when you are just enjoying life without all the drama. So I've had a great time. That's all. And the little guy did too. And I came back yesterday. And what did we do yesterday? We did a cake and giggle session where Tapeta told us about her trip. Jackie, you need to catch up. You need to catch up. Because yesterday we were told, Tapeta, do you want to tell Jackie what that was all about? Because Tapeta went on a holiday, a camping trip with a family, and she found new things about them. And here's Tapeta's summary. I said, Tapeta, are you going to go camping with them? She said to me, Glads, let's just say if I do decide to go camping with them, they're going to be 2 camps away from me, or I'm going to be 2 camps away from them, which means that Tapeta went on the camp, came back and reconsidered her life choices with them friends. So bottom line is we're here. And to the question of how did I find these big pans, you know, Jackie, this cost me £60. This is silverwood. This is a professional baking pan. It is silverwood. I spoke about that when I did the baking pan session, when we talked about the quality of baking pans. So when I bring this pan out, it means I'm going for a large bake. And for a large bake, there are considerations to make when the pan goes in the oven, because this is so big. I think it's 14 inches, and my oven on the width of the oven is about 18, but you still have the metal bits in there, which means the size of the oven in terms of what I can get in is about 15 to 16 inches, and this is 14 inches to be exact. So there's only a 2-inch gap. The importance of the gap and how this fills the oven means that when heat is circulating, this touches the back of the oven completely. So when you want to bake in such a big pan, you want to make sure that your pan is optimized for great heat transfer, just so that this part, when it is touching nearly the convection fan, it is not absorbing all the heat, because you will end up with very burnt bits and your cake doesn't bake well. But when I pull this silver wood out, my fears are kind of like to the left over here, because I have a great even bake. Yes, a little bit of browning on the sides, but it's professionally formulated to kind of transfer heat and conduct well, even when it is in close contact with the heat. So I love this pan. The church gathering is a big thing. It's really a big gathering for the weekend. So I just wanted to get that and get it all together. But otherwise, that is my recap. Yeah, Jackie's laughing. Jackie said, I'd probably be better off with the Jackie, you haven't said a prayer yet. I can feel it. You haven't said a prayer yet, Jackie. But whilst we're at it, I'm better off with the bears. Oh God. Remember, the bears will chase you. Okay. Anyway, people, I can see you haven't said a prayer yet. That's why, because when you haven't said a prayer yet, you can tell yourself, isn't it? Because when I wake up and I come charging down, it's a different feel, okay? And when I haven't said a prayer yet, let's just say I am unfiltered. You know, I'm shooting daggers and I'm saying what I'm thinking, but I tell you what kind of breaks the cycle a little bit. If I stop and I'll be like, oh, Holy Spirit, what am I doing today? Lead me. Suddenly, it takes away the part where I am out here just wilding out. Okay? So it doesn't matter. We're here. We're in a small space here, this part of the internet. And all 19 of you that you're stopping by, what are we doing? We are prepping for a coffee style cake. So whilst we're at it, you're welcome. If it's the first time you see me, I am Gladys. It's my face on here, but it is your show, okay? You make this all worthwhile for me. I love cake. I would be making cake even if I was in the pits of hell somewhere, okay? That is if Satan will allow me, but I'm not going to hell. I'm going to be a good Christian. I can't stand the heat, okay? I only need heat to bake and not go to hell, okay? That's just by the way. Okay, so I will still be baking, and my appearance here and your support is enabling me to live my passions out loudly and publicly. And it comes with a lot of responsibility. It comes with a lot of commitment. But I'm also incredibly grateful for you choosing to invest your time, stopping here, this side of the internet, to engage with me, have a laugh whilst we do all of this together. So let's get to baking this cake. Auntie Jackie is in the house. I'm always happy when Auntie Jackie comes. Nicola, Tapeta, Lollipop, all of you in the house. Thank you for stopping by. Let's get to the bake. Look, we keep it real over here. I'm in the middle of a technically house move. Look, here's a little update. I've told you people, I don't know what I'm doing half of the time about the house move because there's a lot I don't know and there's no control in my hands. But it is likely that it will be sooner than later. This is not a public announcement. This is between you and I, like those of you who know. It's likely it will be happening, and that will be a miracle. So all I'm asking, as always, just pray for my family, pray for us, because I like to take you along the journey. I know when this all changes, I am hoping that it will be brighter, it will be whiter, it will be lighter, and the kitchen will be wider. That's all I'm asking for. So thank you. And what do I cook? Sunflower. I'm not cooking. I am prepping for a bake. So you see, we keep it so real over here. When I'm not baking, my oven is a storage unit, okay? It stores the trays and what's not. But the trays better come out today because we need to use them to bake. So let's start that. In the meantime, let's get to preheating the oven. And while that is happening, we are going to try and grease the pans and get to work with them whilst we're at it. Tapeta is reliving her nightmare. Tapeta, I am so sorry for doing this to you, but I didn't want Jackie to miss out on the story because I'm like, this is so wild, Tapeta. Okay. We've just run out of greaseproof paper. So now let's put... Am I the only one who hates to throw these away? I have no use for them. I have no use for them, but I hate to throw them away because I think of, what do you call it? Pillars. I'll tell you what I'm thinking. I'm not throwing it away. Yeah, and the kitchen goes back to doing that again. Okay, so what we're going to do... Oh, you forgot to tell that yesterday. Don't worry, Tapeta, just tell it, will you? Tell it, because... Oh my days. What kind of greaseproof paper did I go and buy? It's going to be a mess today. Can you see? Okay. Some days you wake up and your greaseproof paper won't work for you. But you know what? I am not going to be defeated by this greaseproof paper. I am not going to be defeated by this greaseproof paper. Okay, let's see. I don't know what I'm doing, people. But let's get to it. Can you see a baker in real time prepping? Mommy. Jackie, the pre-cut. I didn't want the pre-cut though. That's the annoying thing. Because I have to line my tint myself, I prefer them whole so I can cut them to the sizes. Look, if you were in my kitchen right now, everything is strewing around me. I am so glad we only have like a very narrow perspective. But either way, you can feel the chaos in the kitchen. But you know what? All things, we don't always have to aim for perfection. You just have to aim to produce something with a lot of passion and commitment and skill and leave the rest, okay? I could wake up, tidy my kitchen, but that's not the promise I make to you, because that is just going to cause a lot of friction in my life that you won't even see the content and you will never get to learn anything different, okay? So we are rolling with what we have, okay? I have literally in real time just found out that the greaseproof paper I bought is pre-cut, and that's not what I asked for. But it's okay, we're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work, okay? So I am lining that into the pan. Why am I doing that? As you can see, why am I doing that? Just so that when the cake goes in, it doesn't stick. And can you see? Right, so what we're going to do is grease the sides too. It feels like it's in your face, as in it's so wide. I am so sorry, but let's get that done. But anyway, I would ask you, how is your day and what are you all doing? For my US based audience, Jackie, Tabitha, and the lots of you, it's morning. How is your morning going so far? Have you had your coffees? Have you said your prayer? I know those who have said prayer and those who haven't. I'm not judging. We just know each other, okay? So have you had your morning meditation and devotion sessions? And what plans have you got for your day? Work? I'm asking the question, but it's unlikely I'll be seeing much of it because we are working. And if you know me, I can't do both. I am either chit-chatting or I am working. So I can't do both. But you know who knows my heart? My people. We are getting the self-raising flour. Dolly, are you on a break, darling? Great to see you. Good afternoon. How are you, my love? Tapeta, are you still crying about the shit show of a country? Tapeta, I've told you why I keep laughing. I've told you, it's not because your situation is funny. It's because I just imagine in my head sitting with you. Look what I'm doing. What I'm doing is I'm flouring the pan. I'm just imagining sitting with you. I don't want this to stick, so I'm trying to flour it. I'm sitting with you and you're telling me the story and the details are just like hilarious, even though I know like it's annoying. So yeah. We're so sorry that happened to you, right? But you know what? You live and you learn, darling. You live and you learn. Yesterday, we even had the conversation about finding out things about a friend that you didn't know that has probably caused you to question your friendship and to make decisions on whether you want to pursue the friendship or not. We had a whole conversation about that yesterday. Look, this is the imperfect part side of bacon. There you go. The pan is lined and greased. I'm going to leave that over here. Now look at me. I am left powdered. But hey, we're still going to make it work. Now, wipe my hands. Wipe the top, and there's another one to line, by the way. I love it here when I come and I can focus on baking seriously with you guys, but I hate that I miss out on the chats. I hate it. I hate it. Okay, there we go. We have another one, another pan. Except this is not, this is just an aluminium. This is a cheap easy pan. I actually bought this for brownie baking because brownies don't take such a long time in the oven and it's unlikely to burn on the sides depending on the recipe and how you derive it. But for today, I'm going to break my own rules and have this. This is a 12-inch square pan. It's just, it's It's not formulated as a professional baking pan at all. I wouldn't even say, it's not even PME standard. The reason why I got this was I was looking for some square pans and I couldn't find the corners as good as this in the PME range. The PME had the rounded square, which means I had to do the extra job of trimming and forming the square perfectly. And I thought, if I'm going to spend money buying a cake pan, it better give me what I need. So I ended up just picking a generic one that gave me the shape instead of the quality of pan. So you see, you can't always have it perfectly. Now that is done. I need to line this. So let's see. Okay, half of it is going this way. Okay, half of it is going that way. And half of it will go this way. There's no rhyme or rhythm to this. Okay, I am just going to try. And by the way, when I'm done with the serious aspect of what I'm doing, I'm going to show you some things that I picked up when I went shopping yesterday. I picked myself some baking related items, some small things. And even though they're very small, they did make me excited a little bit. There's 31 of you in the chat, people. Can I ask you a small favor while you're here? I know that, you know what, the everyday people, my people, you know. But if you're new here, right, and you are just in the chat and you are adding up to the 31 people in the chat, can I ask you for a favor? Can you consider liking the video? That just tells YouTube that you are here, and it does matter that you are here, and YouTube knows about your experience, because that helps us grow. So please consider doing that for me if you don't mind. There is 30, I can see 22. Okay, 22 people. There's 8 likes. So please do like the video. If you have forgotten that matters, it's free. Just like the video so that we can go on and have a laugh whilst we're at it. Lollipop is back in the chat with us. Lollipop is back. So this is also lined. You see, lining the things are not even done perfectly. I don't need it to be perfect. I just need to make sure that my my cake doesn't stick in it. So I tend to secure that by just adding a bit of flour, and there you go. Okay, there you are. So if you can see, we have, so what are we doing again? Say it with me. Prepping for a coffee style bake. Okay, we are prepping. So prep number 1 done. What are we doing next? Wiping our work table. I mean, in all fairness, if we get through the bake, we're going to come back and bake some more. So if you're just joining us, I did say today is going to be a marathon bake session. So I'm kind of bracing myself for it. And if the live finishes and you have time, you can stop by later. You will see. Right now it's 3:17. Whatever we are doing, by 4:30, this session should be closed. And I'll be back for, say, give or take 6 p.m. again. So we finish at 4:30, and then we're back for 6 p.m. to get another bake done. Will that be a dense or fine bake? It is a fine bake. It's going to be, essentially, it's going to be my regular vanilla style cake, right? The very delicate vanilla cake, but it is going to have some streusel filling in it running through. It's a bit like, think about, is it the cinnamon style coffee cake where you have a vanilla cake, a delicate sponge that is very light textured but has a bit of cinnamon sugar running through that gives it texture and extra flavor. So we are just optimizing for texture, flavor, and crumb quality here. So if you took away the addition of the streusel, it's just a vanilla cake, but I am just adding something to kind of bring to it, if you like. So here's where we are, the self-raising flour. So what I'm going to be using is Digestive Biscuits. When you're making a streusel, I'll get a glass bowl so you can see exactly what I'm doing. There's a glass bowl here. When you're making a streusel, the recommendation is to use flour. I'm mixing flour with biscuits here, and the biscuits, this is not original digestive. I just have these biscuits lying around, and once you open them they get flat, so it's a way to kind of use them up for the cake. Oh, a digestive biscuit, right? This is what a digestive biscuit looks like. It comes by the way, digestive, the original digestive is by a company, it's by a brand name called McVitie's, and McVitie's is a British company. There's a lot to it. I think they've sold whatever you, a real digestive is made by a company in the UK called McVitie's. I think, is it McVitie's? Lollipop, correct that for me, right? But now other people make them. So the digestive is kind of a type of biscuit, but you know, sometimes you have a brand name for it, as in a brand that is associated with the biscuit. So the brand that I knew for a long time is McVitie's, and it is the if you get it, it looks like this. There's really no difference between the brands, except there's a difference in taste. If you get a McVitie's biscuit, as in a digestive biscuit, the wheat is crusty, it is nice, it is flavorful. The other ones is like, but I'm using this for a cake, so I'm not complaining, okay? But if I want to sit there with a McVitie's biscuit and my cup of tea, I'm not buying this one. This one I bought from my local Aldi, okay? Call me precious, yes, I am being precious about it, but why should I suffer? Why should I suffer? I don't want to suffer, okay? I don't want to suffer for a biscuit. Come on, life is too short. It's not that expensive anyway. So what I'm doing is I could literally whisk this in a food processor, but because I'm trying to optimize for texture, I am just using my hands just to, they're very soft too. Look, it is really like, I can't wait for my US based audience, for you to visit the UK, for us to have, like, when we have like a live show that will include tea time, we'll have all these British things, like a scone. I know you guys have it as a biscuit, and the way you have it, like a biscuit and a gravy, and I mean the cultural nuances of things that look similar but yet are still very different is kind of like very fascinating. So I can't wait to have you, like, host you guys in the UK for a tea or something. Okay, so there we have it, right? So this is the this is going to be the streusel filling, but what I'm going to do is, there's really no right or wrong, and there's no rhyme or reason to this. So you can measure it just so that I can give you a guide. I'm going to weigh this so that we have the right measurements and accurate ingredients in weight for you. But if I was doing this in my kitchen for, say, I had a family over and we want a simple bake that is still tasting amazing, I won't weigh this at all, because it's not going to make a difference to what the cake really is like in terms of outcome. So the more the merrier, the less, if you like, good for you. But it's neither here nor there. But obviously I'm aiming to teach, so I'll be giving you the accurate weight of that. Okay, yes, I can see good vibes in the chat. Good vibes, darling. How are you? Yeah, I'm just wiping my hands. Tidy over here. And let's go and weigh these. Weighing that into. So if I weigh it and I say the measurement out loud, the moderators, Capital Lollipop, Jackie, whoever, please put it in the chat properly so that we can see. So the McVitie's weighs exactly 290 grams. You don't need 290 grams, but it's going to be filling nearly a 14-inch. So if you're making a regular 8-inch cake, what you probably need here is about 100 to 150. That is if you choose to. And then into that, I am going to add flour. The flour is just to kind of hold things together a little bit. That too, there's really no rhyme or reason. So flour, so there's 290, and then we have, just trying to, 60, we have 70 grams of self-raising flour in there, just as a bonus. And where is the salt? I am adding some salt here, a pinch of salt, and then this mixes together. So 290 grams of digestive biscuits crushed, a pinch of salt, 5 to 7 grams, and 70 grams of self-raising flour. Now let me get myself some cinnamon. Cinnamon is over here. Is it this one? Allspice? No. No. This is a different spice rack. You have Gladys all out here. Let me get mine. Okay. Yep. Yep. Okay. Do we have cinnamon? Yeah. Do I have cinnamon? I'll be annoyed if I don't. I have cardamom. I have ground ginger, mixed spice, cardamom, allspice. What's happened? I don't have cinnamon, people. That would be annoying. Let's see. Do I have cinnamon? Mixed spice, allspice, smoked. People, this can't be true. Life just happened. I don't have cinnamon. I do not have cinnamon. What do you do as a baker if you don't have cinnamon? What do you do? Ground ginger, ground allspice. I have allspice. Oh, what a bummer. Something tells me I do, maybe. Except I don't know where I've put it. You know what? I'm not about to spend my entire time here looking for cinnamon. So we're going to move on, okay? This is mixed spice. Okay. Can I ask for a favor, boys? Sir? Let's see. Let me see what...
Daddy isn't here yet. He's coming through the door. I just went ahead of him.
The biscuit is great, but it's annoying without the cinnamon. Ah, yeah, I will just use allspice. Sir, can you do me a favor?
Yes, what do you need?
Think about your answer clearly, because it could make or break us. The group is listening.
What you need?
Oh, I got it. I got it. It's okay. I wanted you to go to co-op for me, but yeah, I've got it. Thank you. Auntie Jackie got Auntie Jackie, I got it. Ground cinnamon.
I did, yeah.
The difference is that I bought them from 2 different places, and my local Tesco have the labels on top.
Yeah.
The local co-op doesn't. So
Let's go and
yeah.
There's
Cinnamon here. So you know, for the cinnamon, just for your...
I'll get your Pepsi and your Pringles.
Thank you, sir. Big producer. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so what am I doing?
We just went to do some recon.
Okay. Ghost recon.
No, some real life recon.
Okay.
We went to view something.
Okay.
And to calculate some distances.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, there is 15. This is a full tablespoon, right? A full tablespoonful of cinnamon in here. Okay. Let's see. So we have a full tablespoonful of cinnamon. Let me see. Nothing replaces cinnamon in baking, you know. It is there, but it's very subtle. I don't want it to be too much also, because not everybody likes cinnamon. So let's see. This is where, you know, like as a baker, sometimes you just have to do whatever. Okay, so there's a large tablespoonful and a teaspoonful. So like a tablespoonful and a half, I would say. Okay, a tablespoonful and a half of cinnamon in here. I want to add this is just allspice. Okay, the allspice are, let's see, ground ginger. Okay, the allspice are new, so I was looking for that won't fit. Okay, let's just make it work. Okay, allspice, just a quarter of a teaspoonful here, and that is it. So that's all mixed together. So a tablespoonful and a half of cinnamon, 290 grams of digestive biscuits crushed, 70 grams of self-raising flour, a pinch of salt, 5 to 7 grams in there, and a quarter of a teaspoonful of allspice. Okay, let's see. There's flavor there, but the salt cuts through. I think I've been a bit handsy with the salt because the digestives are a little bit salty too. Like when you get the knockoff brands, they're a little bit salty. Anyway, let's wipe the worktop because it is gradually getting a bit messy. But before we finish that, now we're going to get some, tell you what I was looking for. Glad. What am I looking for? Butter. Butter. Okay? Butter. I have unsalted butter. We made it. Yes, yes, yes. You know, some days I don't know how I get through these sessions because when I wake up, I'm like, Lord, your people are waiting. And yes, we can come and do like a structured bake, but I have a feeling that we want to learn something every day, but we don't want to be like straight jackets sitting in class like why are we doing that? Why? You know, so some days these sessions are such a risk, but they are always so worth it. So thank you all. We have 130 grams of butter here. Like I said, there's no rhyme or reason to the amounts I'm using here. I just need some butter. I'm going to melt them. Now I'm thinking I could have made some brown butter. That would be lush. But hey, we are here now. So let's make it work. Okay. And then start with wiping the worktop glad. Talking on the phone and looking for the phone. That is every regular human being's experience with phones, okay? Some days I'm running late for being somewhere, right? And I'm running down, and if you know me, I am a recovering complainant and somebody with a short fuse. If I get frustrated, I'm shouting. Not anymore though. So I'm running down the stairs. I'm like, people, where? Meanwhile, the phone is stuck on my back pocket, or it is attached to the side pocket, on the side pocket of my handbag. That is me. When I tell you some of the embarrassing things I have done, you will look at me different, okay? You will look at me like, glad, for real, is this you? Because I tell you what, the Lord saves when I tell you. The Lord saves. Auntie Jackie, doesn't he? Dorotha, hello, Dorotha. Thank you for stopping by. Dorotha, where are you joining us from? Anyway, the stuff, some of the stuff I bought when I went shopping, guess what I bought? You can never have too many spatulas as a baker, okay? I bought myself 2 nice pastel spatulas. There they are, the long one. And anyway, I said it here first. If we ever get to a part where we are launching baking products, my first item will be a spatula. The spatulas on the market are flimsy. Yes, I said it. They're flimsy. I want a spatula that has a long handle, longer than the regular one. And sometimes the blade of the silicone part, they're too bulky. I need it to scrape what I'm scraping so finely. Okay? Yeah. If I ever came to launching a product, like a baking product, it would be a spatula. We will have to make the spatula so purpose made for bakers, so that, for instance, this spatula is not going to work when I get this big old bowl. Like it, I need it to be long and firm. And what is this? What is this? I went and bought the thing and I came to complain. Why is this coming off? This is a pit for germs. Why? Why is it coming? Can someone explain to me why it comes off? Like, why? I'm complaining. I'm complaining. Okay? Anyway, let's make it work. Okay, can Auntie Jackie what? Auntie Jackie says, child, I broke a wooden one from William Sonoma, mixing a pound. Darling, I'm tired already thinking about them. Right, we're going to add the butter. That was 130 grams. We're just adding it into our mix here, right? And what we are doing is just mixing everything together. Now you're going to have a very unattractive looking sandy texture here, but stick with the program. You won't regret it. Okay, so the coffee style cake, we're going to first of all bake the vanilla, digestives and cinnamon streusel, and then after that we're going to make a banana and pecans. So the second batch of our bake will be a banana and pecans. Now what we want to do is, when you mix your streusel, you want to make sure that it looks very sandy. So over here, the self-raising flour is giving us bind, but we need the texture to look like this. We don't want it all fine. The reason is we want some lumps in the cake when we come to it. So when you pick it up and you can kind of press it in like this for it to hold, you can break it apart and then you can have them in different irregular sizes in lumps. That is what you need, okay? There you go. That is exactly what you need. Now I'm going to try and have a feel of this. if you left me with a cup of there's a type of McDonald's coffee, I've forgotten the name, but it will come to me. If you left me with that and a cookie that has this flavor, you can have everything you want from me, and I'll give you the Lord too. Amen. That's all. I say that to say the streusel is amazing. That's all. Our pans are sitting in each other, and we're going to set that over here. Now we are going to start prepping ingredients for the bake. We are going to clear the work table, and we're going to start prepping our ingredients for the bake. Did I tell you we're going to be out of here for 4:30? Whatever we do, 4:30 I'm out. So do keep an eye on the time for me, and please remind me if I go off course. No, it's not the mocha. It's not the mocha. It's the. It's a toffee. It's one of, for somebody who used to work with McDonald's, I'm not good at remembering what they serve over there, do I? I used to work with them people, and those who know. Those of you who know, you know. Yeah, I used to work with them people. Toffee latte. I told you it will come to me. Toffee latte. Yeah, toffee latte. Well, you know what? If you left me with the streusel, I'll be all right. But there's like just crunching on it by itself. It is very filling. It has a very, you know, when you're eating the crust of pie, a good, say, pie, it is so filling that you want something to wash it down with. There's a method to the madness, you know. Yeah, so Auntie Jackie, if you left me with the streusel, I'll be good, but I don't want to feel like I'm choking on it, because it feels nice, it tastes great, but when you're swallowing it, because it has the flour in it, it is heavy, and you just want something to wash it down. And a McDonald's sweet toffee latte will do it just fine. That's all. Nicola, I saw you. Nicola, I saw you. All that good food. Gladys, just go and bake, will ya? I'm gonna get some eggs, people. Okay. My people, I'm always seeing you, sis, because I see you in passing. When I wake up and the chaos is happening, and I go on, because I consume your content a lot, right? YouTube keeps recommending you to me, so you are always on my homepage or in my feed, and I just want to make time with you over there. So I saw you over there. You are eating fresh. You're not exercising, are you, girl? Can you get to the bake? Okay, right. Let me get to the part where I show you the things that I picked up, because I'm going to use them. I picked up this set of bowls. Apparently, they're dishwasher and microwave safe. That is what they sold me on, but hey, I didn't even care. I just wanted small glass box, and I bought them. Who gets excited buying things that they don't know they needed? Come on, be honest. I'm not alone on this hill. They're only $2.99. Don't worry. I didn't break the bank, and I'm not. Okay, I've just wash that quickly. Okay, I've run some hot water over them. Okay. Right. Right. Because of the flavor of the streusel, we are not going to flavor the vanilla at all with, because I was thinking, can I add, is there a chance I can add that muscovado sugar? But no, we'll swap the muscovado sugar for the banana when we go to make it. So people, let's get to measuring the ingredients for our cake, right? So okay, there you go. Okay, now we need, got the wrong stuff in here, right? We need about 485 grams of margarine here. Can you see what I mean about the thingy? It moves. I just needed to scrape this and it's just, anyway. And can you see the head is moving even when I'm just trying to scrape? It is so annoying. Anyway, I'm not complaining, glad. Let me be happy with my lot. All 43 of you over there, listen to Good Vibes. Good Vibes says like and subscribe. Okay, do. You will have a good time here. You won't regret it. It will be one of the best choices you would have made for your day today. Believe me when I say. Because you know what? There are a bunch of good people in the world and they all come here. Can I vouch on you, people? Right, there you go. So we have 485 grams of margarine here. Let's move that out of the way. We're gonna have 620 grams. $620. This is granulated sugar, by the way. $620 grams of granulated sugar. You can use caster sugar, but for what we need it for, we don't care. This will work. So that's 620 grams of that. We need buttermilk. Yeah, buttermilk. This is I have given you a long lecture about buttermilk in previous videos. You want to check it out. But this is commercially produced short ball buttermilk, okay? We need 180 mils of that. Okay. And into that, I'm still going to add, because I need a very tender crumb, I'm going to add 2 full tablespoonfuls of vinegar. Okay, your buttermilk and any ingredients you are using in this recipe should be at what? Say it with me, room temperature. Okay, there you have buttermilk. Now let's go get ourselves some eggs. Where is the eggy? Right, now what we want to start with first is the egg yolk. We need a total of about 415 grams of eggs, right? So I want you to see what I'm doing. So I need Okay. I've got more mixing bowls here. I do actually think of all of you when I go shopping, you know, because I bought these. I didn't need them. I have enough mixing bowls, but not enough for me to be able to let you see into the bowl. So this is just for your viewing experience, just so you can see. Because I can use any bowl, but I also want you to have a look into what I am doing, which kind of enhances your experience. So yeah, there you go. Lollipop. Okay, yeah, so thank you, Lollipop. So over here we need 415 grams of eggs. These are large British eggs. We are deshelling them. I have 116. A large egg without shell is about 58 grams. Okay, 55 to 58 grams a large egg. So it varies slightly. We need about 415. I have 291 from 5 eggs already. So this is the 6th egg. That is 349. Now this is the 7th egg. We have 405, 7 eggs. I'm gonna go for the 8th egg, and I will just adjust my flour slightly to make up for it. So instead of the 415, we are at exactly 465, which means we are 50 grams more in eggs. Is it? Yeah, we're 50. You know what, 50 grams is a lot. Anything between 10 and 15 grams is fine, but 50 is a lot, so I'm gonna try and take that out. Okay. Eggs are very like precious when you're working with them. I'm just trying to take a little bit out. You know what? I'm left with. I'm just taking a bit of egg white. I'm left with 430, so that's 15 grams more. I'm gonna just skip to it. We'll be fine. So the measurement for the eggs is 430 grams here. Pay attention to how I use the eggs in the bake, okay? Pay close attention. But that's 430. Now we're going to, the egg whites are going to be added to the next batch of eggs for our banana bake, so we'll be all right over there. They're not going to go to waste. And then our next thing is flour. Now, because we have adjusted the, we've increased the eggs by 15 grams, we'll make an adjustment for the flour. We were going for about 650 grams of self-raising flour over here. I'm going to adjust it by 10 grams just so that it can make up for the liquid. So let's go for 675. So that's 25 grams more, but it will make no difference, but we'll guarantee that we are not like losing out on hold and bulk, because liquids do make a difference. So we need 675 here. $675. Okay, 668. Exactly 675. We got it. So can you see that in real time I have made adjustment for the recipe to accommodate the developing thing. I am not going to sift this. Sifting is important, but I've bought this brand of flour for a long time to know sifting makes no difference over here. And to guarantee texture, because we have a very wide bake, I'm going to add in, I normally, when I go for self-raising flour, I do not add any rising agent, but I'm going to add half a teaspoonful of baking powder here, only half a teaspoon, because we need the bake to be delicate to make room for the streusel to fill. Okay, So we need a bit more rice than we normally would want for my regular vanilla cake. So that's half a teaspoonful of baking soda to add to the self-raising flour, which already has rising agent in it. So that's all our ingredients all sorted. Now, to be able to focus on the bake and get great results, let's tidy up and then get the mixer in and start the process. If you're just joining us for the first time and you're like in the chat, you're like, hello, 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 and I'm not talking to you, I'm not being rude at all. If you've been here long enough, my people know me, I can only do one thing at a time. So if I'm baking, we're talking baking. And right now we've prepped for a coffee style vanilla cake. If you stick around, you will see the results on our next session of the bake. But you are in the capable hands of our friends of the channel and friends here, which is Lollipop and her sisters in the chat. Keep yourselves company, be entertained. I'm not mad. I hate that I am not a part of it, but there will be a chance where I can catch up with all the back end movements of that. So if you're just here, come on, join the chat, introduce yourself, let us know where you're joining us from. If you're new here, let us know where you're joining us from so we can welcome you properly, okay? And even if I can't do it personally, look, you are in capable hands and it's great to have you stop by, okay? Thank you for being here. I hope whatever you're doing, you're having a lovely afternoon though, okay? Because me, I'm having a great time. Look, I love tea so much. PG, I have a PG tip man here, okay? I love tea. Except I don't drink PG tips, I drink Tetley's. Anyway, let's stick him here. Okay, that's my tea man. Okay, he's here. He's in my belly. He's in my belly. Okay, that's my tea man. He says, hello, hello people, hello. Anyway, Gladys, stop distracting yourself and get to work. Okay. That's my, okay, sugar to the size. What am I doing, Glads? Okay. We are tidying. We are tidying. Okay. We are tidying. Okay. Okay. Butter, room temperature. Flour, room temperature. Okay. This I need. This I need. That goes here. Okay. The oven has been preheating for the entire time that I've been here. Right? While we're at it. Okay, let me. Okay, my kettle. I've not turned my back at you people, literally. Okay, I'm coming. Just that Auntie has to work this kitchen. Lollipop. Okay, yeah. Why am I calling Lollipop? Okay. Okay, there you go. What am I doing? Okay. Okay. Not today, Glad. Not today. Not today. Okay. Right. At least I haven't broken a cup and the tidying is complete. Right, people. Okay. If you haven't noticed what I've done here, the eggs still seem cold and I need the eggs to be warm. So what I've done is I took a big glass bowl, poured sat the small glass bowl in there and then poured boiling water. You want to be careful so you don't scramble them. The best advice is leave your eggs at room temperature, except it's a bit chilly in England today, so it's a bit cold. I did try to put the eggs at room temperature, but your next best thing is to leave the eggs in warm water before you use them. So what I've just done here is just something you shouldn't be doing, but hey, we are here now, people. We are here, right? Now, I'll tell you this whilst we're at it, just in faith, that the place we're looking for, if we do get it, I want like a designated cake space, in that even though it's going to be another rental, I am hoping we can have, say, for instance, a garage that can be sort of DIY'd into a cake space, or a conservatory. That would be a deal for me. Like, I am not going to bank my search for a home on just that, but it would be lovely to have, say, a designated cake space where I can just live out what I'm doing here, so that the kitchen, it would be lovely to be in the kitchen, but I just want a designated space where I can just do this. Okay, there we are. Now, oh, so we have half an hour to get this into that and be done with the session, people. Let's get to it. Right, so over here, let's see if I can make it. Over here we have this granulated sugar in there, and we have butter, margarine. Okay, margarine in here, and we're gonna go for vanilla. And gonna get this creamy. Right, people, you know the drill. Once this goes on and it starts making noise, I'm probably going to be quiet in the background trying to tidy up. So here's a polite reminder again. If you're already here and you're enjoying what we're doing, do like the video, okay? There is 39 of you and there's only 19 likes. I wonder where the 20 people have gone. All 20 of you, be kind and consider liking the channel whilst we get this creamy, okay? We are creaming at medium-high speed, which is between 3 and 4 speed here. And it's exactly 4 o'clock. We're going to cream this for up to 6 minutes because today in the UK it's a bit cold.
Need a glass of milk.
A glass of milk. Okay, I'll get that for you. There is Stephanie Parker. Stephanie, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Stephanie, where are you joining us from? Sir, give this to Daddy, baby. Nobody sees you. Don't worry, babe. Don't worry.
Thank you. I'll pour it in the windshield.
Nobody's seeing you. Okay? Don't worry. You can say hi to them. Just say hi. You don't. Okay, that's fine.
Right, kiss for you.
People like, just say hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
See, no one can see us. You can just say hi.
They can't see you, so just say hi. You don't. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, let's try and get the sides mixed in. Good vibes and the rest of you. Thank you guys for all the help and for always stopping by, for making our community so much fun. And adding to the growth of the channel. We are headed towards 9K, and I have no doubt 10K will be happening shortly after. Wow. I don't know what 10,000 people look like. I just know it's, you know what, in my life, I will have to count so many generations to get to 10,000. So thank you. Auntie Jackie, I will leave you to prophesy that one, because you and I need a hell of a conversation about that, okay? Auntie Jackie is asking, are you going to have more little producers? Auntie Jackie, that's a conversation I'll tell you when we sat at the table, okay? But I will also leave room for what the Lord shows you, because me over here, my will is different from the Lord, and my will is a hell of no. No to the no to the no. But I have seen the Lord. I have surprised me, Auntie Jackie. So you know what? At this point, I'm like, you know what? Whatever the Lord desires, we shall see. Auntie Jackie, you know what I'm like. I'm like, hella no. We did a whole you know what, people? Now I kind of feel like let's create a membership over here, because you know we have half an hour. We'll talk about this later, people. Thank you, Auntie Jackie. Auntie Jackie says, that's right. Stay focused, Auntie Jackie. Maybe you should, when you go into the prayer closet, say, Lord, show me something Gladys is missing. Okay? And when he shows you, you come and tell me and I'll hear you. Okay? But no, to me, it's a no. It's a... I hate that, you know what, I have something in my head and I know I can't tell you, and that's not because I don't want to tell you, it's just because I know people are sitting on the walls and they're listening, us in the proverbial, like, we are in an open space, because I want to tell you stuff, Auntie Jackie. I want right? It's 8 minutes because I'm looking at the time, and it's time to add the eggs. What I'm going to do with the eggs is I'm going to start with a yolk at a time. Let that mix through just so that we can get some bind in there. And then the third yolk. And the fourth. So 4 yolks have gone in. Out of the entire amount, we have 4 yolks in there. And then what I'm doing is I'm beating the rest of the eggs. If you beat your eggs together, it makes mixing the stuff in easy. Auntie Jackie, I have held that tea for another day. Never you worry. You know what we're like. At some point, the Holy Spirit will have it spilling out. So don't you worry, okay? But people, let's not forget, Tatiana, our girls prefect. She has studies and she has stuff. And yesterday she was asking us for prayers. You know, that's the only support she's asking. So if you go in your prayer closet, do remember our sister Tatiana. At some point, whatever it wants to be said in that, the Holy Spirit will have it spilling out. So Auntie Jackie, don't worry. The egg is all gone in. Now we are going to just get all the sides together. I like how wide the spatula base is, like as in this, the tongue, how wide it is, but the handle is still like short. Now let's get this mixing. I think for what we are doing, I'm going to be baking using the 12-inch. Initially, I wanted to go for the 14-inch, but the 12 might just do, because I will need 2 lots of this to fill the 14-inch, because it's very wide and I don't have time to make another batch of butter. So all I'm doing is just doing this so we can bake it in the 12-inch, and then when we come back, I would have prepped one base already and then we'll top it. Whilst that is mixing, we are going to now add our flour. It is always important to remember you should add your flour at a very low speed, because you don't want to develop the gluten. That is really important. It doesn't matter the quantity, you just want to make sure that your flour is mixing at a very low speed. So I am adding the flour in here. Almost half of the quantity is gone in, and then into that half of the buttermilk will go. This mixer has a function, fold function. It's the slowest function and it will do the job. Now the next batch of flour goes in, and then I'll take the entire lot in here. We are getting to the end of our bake, and whilst that is mixing, one thing we need is to check on our strusel. You want to make sure the streusel is kind of set a little bit so that you have some texture to it. Okay, at this point, because of the quantity we have, you may be better served. Those of you who don't like people working with their hands, we do with our hands over here. So I'm just using my hand to get this in. As you can see, I've washed my hands, people. Those of you who's like the internet police people. Some days I see, I think there's a certain group of people who I suspect are either, you know, them people who get, what's the name? Is it hypochondriac? The people who think everything is about disease control and infection control. I kind of feel like those people, there's a community on the internet that exists like that, because who will go and say Nick DiGiovanni's comments section and write, why is the chef not using gloves? I'm like, is this person for real? Are they okay upstairs? Like, are you okay? Do you use gloves for cooking in your house? But then again, I have seen the worst stories being told on the internet. So who knows what happens in people's homes? Oh God. Like, there's yeah, that's the thing. So you just saw me use my hands, and you saw me wash my hands, you saw me dry my hands, and if you have a problem with that, it's a you problem. Okay, our cake batter is done. So again, repetitive cycle. Get all the batter together. I know it contains raw eggs, right? But I'm taking one for the team. The butter is so tasty. Right, there you go. Now that we've got the batter all sorted, let's stir it together. Yep. Look at our batter. Okay, that's enough. Right, this is where the fun starts, okay? Now I feel like I needed 2 of these, but hey, we're gonna make it work. Okay, one bit here. You know what, people? I concede. I am probably going to mix the batter right and leave it to set. I'll be out. You can leave batter at room temperature to set for up to half an hour before you bake. It actually, the science of it supports a good outcome for you, because look, there's not enough in the tin and I need the tin to fill. Except I should have made 2 pots of these, or I should have just doubled the recipe in the big mixer. But you see, you find out in real time sometimes the quantities, even if you optimize and scale, doesn't work out as you imagine. So I'm gonna have to come back and bake more cake. So the baking is not going to happen just yet. Or I may just have to top this instead of just filling it. I don't know what I'm doing, people. Actually, I would just top it then. I'm not going to and then we'll, in the end, essentially it looks like we might just have to bake. So you are finding out in real time a baker's problems, right? So for what I wanted this cake to have a layer of sponge, a filling of streusel, and a topping of streusel. So you have layers, like the pan fills, but in between you have the streusel. But I don't have enough butter to do that. I don't. Look at the butter. If I shift it, it will pour. So if you can't see inside, look, it's not enough. So we're just going to leave it as one layer, because if I have to bake a whole cake, I don't have time. I've got to be out of here for nearly 22. So what we're going to do is, instead of layer the streusel in between the cake, we are just going to have the streusel as a topping on the cake, right? So watch me do that as a topping, and this is what you will see. So this is just going to be one layer of cake, and what I'll do is, when I come back from whatever I need to go and do over here, when I come back, I will have to bake a whole cake like this again. Do you see what I'm saying? So that we have 2 layers instead of 1, because we are feeding nearly 80 to 90 people, and this is not going to be enough. Don't forget, I have a banana cake to bake as well, so never you mind. We you know what, always better to have more cake than less, right? So there you have it. So can you see what I'm doing here? So we have the streusel as a topping, and what I'm doing is I'm using the barbecue skewer to kind of stir it into the top, the base of the batter a little bit, so that it all comes up all crunchy and nice. It will rise just maybe 1/4 of an inch higher, just about. But I wanted it to be like a chunkier bake, but it's neither here nor there, it's fine. It just means that when I'm cutting this, I'm cutting it as a single cake for everyone. Look. So there you have it. That's what we've got. So what I'll do is I'll just sit this on the side for the batter to set. And actually, I want to show you so bad what the batter looks like on the inside. But I can't, because you're looking at it from this perspective. This is when I wish I have a top-down shot. So there we have it. It's gonna sit here for 10 minutes before it goes in the oven. And we are going to wipe our work surface, and then I'll spend the next 10 minutes talking to you, so you don't feel alone out here, okay? But like I said, if you're just joining us, I will be back, because I have some appointments to adhere to. But once those appointments are done, it's almost like at 6 o'clock I'll be right back here, and then we'll be baking more cakes. We'll be baking. So what I'm aiming to do is this, if I cut it right, like if we have, this is not like everyone gets to eat a chunk of cake. No, a bit for everybody, like dessert style, because there will be so many selection of things. So even though I'm baking for a full 90, it's not chunky cakes, it's just a small square piece. So this, give or take, is a serving of 24 to 30 servings right here. That is if you go for small pieces. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 to 30 servings here. 24 to 30. The 6 is kind of in my head. So if I bake 2 of these, that is give or take a serving of 50, and then I can double the other pan, the 14 inch, and if I aim for like a denser, like not a denser bake, but if I aim for a chunkier bake, then I can kind of slice those into 2 doubles if you like, so it covers. So we have a few more baking to do, at least one of these and one of that. I have to find a way to make it seamless and not drag on too much, but yeah. So if even we close this session at 6 o'clock, check back in 6 o'clock UK time, wherever you are, let's know what the equivalent time is. There's no pressure. The lives are still always available for you to check when you can. Yeah, it's different missing out on the experience, but the information and details are still there. The details of the cake I used here is in the chat for you to catch up on. Okay, so it's me, you know what, no pressure at all. Any opportunity I can come and interact with you and catch up with you whilst also showing you the ins and outs of baking is always my pleasure, you know, always a pleasure to have you. So don't feel as though you've missed out on anything, even though I know that we all love their lives. But that's it. It's 4:25. I'm gonna put this to bake. Not going to let it go to the top in real time. That goes in, and I'm going to put some water in there just as yeah, some water in here. It's in a cupcake tray anyway. So, only because the reason why I've added the water is the pan, I've already explained, is not optimized for professional baking. And because it's a wide bake, it's going to take more than an hour. I want to make sure that the heat is stable and even so that I don't have severe bends on the side. So yes, that's why I've just put a tray of cupcake cupcake pans in there filled with water, just to kind of serve as a cooling mechanism. The cake is going to be baking at 160 degrees fan, but with the water in there, that will reduce it down to about 150-ish to kind of give me a more even but prolonged bake. So probably for a bake like this that would normally take, let's say, 50 minutes to 1 hour, estimatedly I'm considering maybe an hour and 20 minutes for this. So it should be all right. So within that hour and 20 minutes, it would be 6, and then the good news will be I will be back right on time for you to see the results of this bake before we start the next one. So I am super excited to see what is that, and perhaps I will be able, I don't know if I'll be able to go back and see the chats that we have so that I can come back and answer some of the questions you asked me. In the meantime, before we go, if you have any cake question, do consider putting it in the community post so that those can serve as some interactions here. I am also I've just been thinking loudly, like in my quiet time, about, I am obsessed about bringing you guys value, but I think my limiting view is how limited I am as a person. Or I do this all by myself. I do the baking, the research, so I have to learn the thing, I have to do the thing, then I have to come and teach you the thing, and then I have to do the post-production part all by myself. Now I'm not complaining, it's a joy of my heart to be able to do that, but it is also, in terms of logistics, planning and output, it is very limiting, because I'm also not wanting to overwhelm myself, because overwhelm will affect quality. Okay, how much we do will, if I do too much, you will begin to feel it. And I'm kind of like always thinking about how to find the right balance between bringing you just about great value consistently without actually doing that at the compromise to myself. So I was thinking, we did talk about like the cake and giggles and all of that. I'm kind of rethinking the format for Kicking It with Gladys. We'll talk about that more at 6 when I come back. And then we can put some stuff on the table, see how we can rejig this, and perhaps we can kind of discuss what the future looks like for us all here. Because you know what, I'm here for you just as you are here for me, right? And TikTok, it's nearly past. Nicola says, I don't think I'm going to be slim by the time Christmas comes. Nicola, you're the one who is doing the exercise and fitness. Have you forgotten? Please don't give up on yourself, because if you do, we will have no chance. Okay? We will still be, because what are my fitness goals? I don't know. I'll come back at 6 and I'll put them out on the table. Okay? Right now I'm learning to swim and it is fantastic. I want to tell you about my swimming. I'll tell you, well, you will not be seeing a swimming picture of me, okay? There's no reason why Auntie Gladys should be out here with a big old bat on the internet, okay? There is no reason, okay? But I'll come and tell you the good, the fun part, like when I'm in the water, what it looks like, what it feels like. It is messy, okay? If you can't swim and you are so tense and it is, okay, I will come and tell you all about it at 6 o'clock, lovelies, okay? I will catch you real soon because it's 4:30 and Auntie has to go. Auntie Jackie, Lollipop, Tarpita, and Nicola, good vibes, you know, all of you. All of you. If I haven't mentioned your name, it's not that you are less important. It's because my brain is clogged with just excitement and joy for your presence here. Happy baking. I'll see you soon.